And then Gopalji told that I am hidden here in the forest under this tree. So please take the help of some villagers, come here and take me out and worship me. So next morning, Madhavendra Puri went with several villagers, and by their help, they took out the deity of Shri Gopalji and brought it in the town and worship it. And that was the first, actually, the after Diwali, what we have. We have like the bhoga, many bhogas, we offer to the Lord Govardhan puja. So that was the first Govardhan puja and all the offerings to Govardhan. And then there, then Gopalji's temple was established, and everybody was bringing the bhoga from different towns, and it went on for so many days. And then second time, Madhavendra Puri got a dream that I'm still feeling so hot, so please bring the chandan. So he went for chandan to Malaya Hill, Malaya Chandan, which is only available around Jagannath Puri. So he went that far away, and in the way there was temple of Gopalji there too, the Gopinath temple, and Gopinath temple he saw that how they offer the kheer. So he just desired that if I know the recipe of the kheer and how it tastes, then I can make the same kind of kheer for my Gopalji in Vrindavan. So he was thinking like that and meditating. So, and the temple door was after Aarti closed, he didn't get kheer. So he went to the marketplace and he just slept there. And then in the dream, the pujari got that I have stolen one pot of kheer and it is behind my deity. So Pujari went, opened the door, and he said that give this kheer to Madhavendra Puri. So he went in the market and he said, Madhavendra Puri, who is Madhavendra Puri? Lord, he stole the kheer for him. And so Madhavendra Puri, when he heard, he was very happy. He was so thankful to the Lord. And he ate, he tasted the kheer, and he was so happy and blissful. And then he, in the morning, he thought, that in the town, I will be famous, that Lord stole the kheer for me. So he left without seeing anyone, because he didn't wanted his praises or his fame around. And then he went to Jagannath Puri and he got a lot of chandan and camphor for the Lord. And then he was returning, he stopped again in Sakshi Gopal temple. And there, Lord Gopal third time gave him the dream that now please use this camphor and chandan to the Gopinath deity, and my heat will get subsided, because I and Gopinath are the same. We are not different. So please use. So Madhavendra Puri stayed there for a long time actually, and apply the chandan and the camphor every single day till it finished. He was staying there, and it was about a month, about 40 kilo chandan, and that's so much camphor, so they used every day, and Gopalji DT and Gopinath DT both were getting cool, because they were very hot. So this was the way, how the Lord actually reciprocates with the devotee, and he was so great devotee. So we can learn many things from Madhavendra Puri's life, how he was firm, and how he didn't wanted his fame, and how simply he lived. He didn't wanted. He was simply serving the Lord, whatever way possible. So I think we should start now. So, and we should get blessings of Madhavendra Puri, because Madhavendra Puri's disciple was Ishwar Puri, and Ishwar Puri initiated Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in the same dynasty, not dynasty, it's in the parampara, in education. So we can imagine how he was very respectful to Ishwar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very respectful to Madhavendra Puri and Ishwar Puri and all the disciples of Ishwar Puri, because they were his god brothers and also disciples of Madhavendra Puri. He was thinking them to be his own guru, like Paramananda Puri and others. So now we will start the first verse, and please recite after me. First verse is 21st verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shashtavagre Mahad Adini Savikaraणि अनुक्रमात् तेभ्यो विराजम् उद्धृत्य तं अनुप्राविशद्विभुः षष्ठवाग्रे महत् आदीनि सविकाराणि अनुक्रमात् तेभ्यो विराजम् उद्धृत्य तं अनुप्राविशद्विभुः षष्ठवाग्रे महत् आदीनि सविकाराणि अनुक्रमात् तेभ्यो विराजम् उद्धृत्य तं अनुप्राविशद्विभुः. Please recite.
Shrishvagre Maharadani Savikrani Anukramat Tibyo Virajam Udhritya Tamanu Pravishad Vibhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Shtragre Mahadadini Savikarnyanukratmat Tebhyo Virajamridadrityaya Tamanu Pravishyadevu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shresvagre Mahadadini Savikarani Anukramat Tebhyo Virajam Udritya Tamanu Pravisad Vibhu.
Shritvaagre Mahadadini Savikaranyanookramat Tebhya Virajam Uddhartya Tam Anupravisad Vibhuhu. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else want to recite? Okay, let us go to word by word translation. Srashva, after creating. Agri, in the beginning. Mahat Adini, the total material energy. Savikarani, along with the sense organs. Anukramat, by gradual process of differentiation. Tebhyo, out of that. Virajam, the gigantic universal form. Uddhatya, manifesting. Tam, unto that. Anu, later. Pravishat, entered. Vibhu, the supreme. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. After creating the total material energy, the Mahat Tattva, and thereby manifesting the gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs, the Supreme Lord entered within it. Purport. Fully satisfied by answers of Lord Sage Maitreya, Vidur wanted to understand the remaining portion of creative function of the Lord, and he took the clue from the previous topics. So I have to read 4 more verses. Today is 21 to 25. So 22. Yam mahur adyam purusham sahasrangri urubahukam yatra vishwa ime loka savikasham ta asate. Translation and purport. The Purush incarnation lying on the casual ocean is called the original Purush in the material creation, and in his Virat form, in whom all the planets and their inhabitants live. He has many thousands of legs and hands. But the first Purush, Karanadakshay Vishnu, the second Purush is Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and the third Purush is Karanadakshay Vishnu, in whom is contemplated the Virat Roop, the gigantic form in which all the planets and their different developments and inhabitants are floating. Text number 23. Yasmin dashvidha prana sendriyarthe indrayas trivrat त्वयेरितो यतो वर्णास्तद्विभूतिर्वदस्त्वनः. O great Brahmana, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his senses, sense objects, and 10 kind of life air exist with 3 kind of life vigors. Now, if you will, kindly explain me the different powers of the specific divisions. Text number 24. Yatra putresh cha potrescha naraptribihi sah gotrajay praja vichitra krataya asan yabhiridam tatam. O my Lord, I think that the prowess manifest in the form of sons, grandsons, and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. And the last verse for today, verse number 25. Prajapatinam sapatis chakalpe kan prajapatin sangarsha chaivanusargamscha manona manvantaradipam an. O learned Brahman, please describe how the leaders of all the demigods, namely the Prajapati, Brahma, decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of the ages. Please describe the Manu also, and please describe the descendant of those Manus. Purport: the human race or the Manushasar descends from Manu, sons and grandsons of Prajapati Brahma. The descendant of Manu resides in all the different planets and rule all the universes. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunnulitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यम ददाति च पदान्तिकम. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So, Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Desha Karine. So, this is very nice description going on actually. These are the further inquiries by Vidura. So Mahatma Vidur actually having conversation with Maitreya Muni after creating this whole creation, this whole world, all the universes and everything. Then Vidurji had many questions. So this is great thing that to ask the questions actually and get the answers, proper answers. So he was very inquisitive, and we will see that from verse number 23 to 38, these are all questions. He asked about 40 questions actually, if we count. And so that many questions he asked. And so this goes on, and Maitreya Muni very lovingly answers all these questions, all his inquiries of Vidurji. So we can see the whole third chapter, whole fourth chapter, and some part of the fifth chapter also is conversation between Vidurji and Maitreya Muni. So major part, the two whole chapters almost, are conversation between Vidurji and Maitreya Muni, because Vidurji was not simple soul, he was one of the Mahajan, he was Yamraj, and by him, we can learn so many things by his questions and answers. So so this first thing says, after creating the total material energy. So we already studied that in the 6th chapter. This creation is so important that it is described in the 2nd chapter, 2nd canto, 1st chapter, 2nd canto, 5th and 6th chapter, 2nd canto, 10th chapter, and also in the 3rd canto, 6th chapter. And now we will read in 26th chapter also. So it's wide, everywhere it's described, and so many questions comes about the creation, and we already have studied. So here is saying, after creating the total material energy, which is Mahat Tattva. So Mahat Tattva is I will just, because we already studied that, so I will go very fast in few minutes. Actually, that what is Mahat Tattva? Mahat Tattva is total material energy, and it comes in the initial stage of creation. Before this creation comes, first thing comes Mahatattva. And from Mahatattva, this whole universe actually originates. So, and also Mahatattva, this is not just the matter, this also is a consciousness also, because we all have the small portion of that consciousness in every Jiva soul. And that's why actually we are directly connected to Supreme Lord. And still it is consciousness also, and it is also a matter. And and we have studied that there were 24 elements. So 24 elements are like a grass, 5 grass elements, which is known as Panchabhut. Then there are 5 Gyanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, and 5 Tanmatras, which are the subtle elements. And then there are 5 Bhutas, which are the gross elements. So these, and then mind, intelligence, and ahankar. So these all things combined, these are the elements. But those elements, actually, we have studied that those elements were not functioning because they were in unmixed stage. So what happened then? Lord actually sent his Vivrat Shakti, or cohesive energy. So that way they all elements were amalgamated and they started functioning. And then they form a golden universal egg. And from that golden universal egg, which looks like a fetus. So all the living entities were residing for 1,000 celestial years there. So that was the night of Brahma, actually. So in the Karan ocean, we all were in the Karan ocean there. And after that, Garbhodaksha Vishnu originates from the navel of the Mahavishnu. And then in that navel, actually, all the universes sprung, like 14 universes, all the universes are in that. And then on the top of that, from that, the lotus stem, on the top, there is a lotus flower, and on the lotus flower was Brahmaji. So this thing, and then Virat Purush actually comes from this Virat Purush is just imagination, this material form of the Lord, which comes in the whole lotus, in the lotus stem. Actually, all the universes are there. So this whole thing, whole Srishti is actually is the universal form of the Lord. So this is the material energy Mahatattva, and thereby manifesting gigantic universal form with senses and sense organs. The Supreme Lord entered within it. So in this material Mahatattva, Lord entered in the form of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu, actually we will be reading in the next verse, about all the Vishnus, and we will discuss a little bit there. So Maitreya Muni was very satisfied by the questions, and Vidurji was also very satisfied by the Vidurji's question. So Maitreya Muni was happy, and Vidurji was happy. So now Vidurji actually learn this creative, how the Lord creates this universe, but he has more inquiry about creative functions of the Lord, that how it works out, So that's why he asked all these questions, We will start reading from verse number 23. So now let us go to text. Next text. The Purush incarnation laying on the causal ocean is called the original Purush, which is the original Purush in the material creation. So who is the original Purush? Mahavishnu or Karanadaksha Vishnu. And in his Virat form, in whom all the planets, and in the Garbhodaksha Vishnu's navel, the lotus stem come, all the planets and everything, inhabitants, all the come in that lotus stem. Actually, how many thousands of, and Lord has many thousands of legs and hands. So in the purport Prabhupada writing, the first Purush is Karnadaksha Vishnu. So Karnadaksha Vishnu, and then second Purush Prabhupada is writing is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and the third Purush is Kshirodaksha Vishnu. So Mahavishnu is he creates this total material energy, and then from him the Garbhodaksha Vishnu comes, So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is situated in each universe. So Lord of Mahavishnu gets into many different Garbhodaksha Vishnu, which enters in each of the universes and situated within. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is situated in each and every universe. And then the Kshirodaksha Vishnu comes from Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and he lives in the heart of everybody, in the form of Paramatma, also in each and every atom, and also in between atoms also. So he is everywhere. So Mahavishnu actually originates from Narayan, or we can say from Shankarshan, the Lord, who is the Lord of the Vaikuntha. And he lives in the Karan ocean, which is part of the spiritual world. And he is the source of this casual ocean, or the Karan Sagar. So he lies in this casual ocean. When we see the picture of the Lord Vishnu lying in the ocean, and all the universes are floating, so we should immediately say that this is Mahavishnu. And then another Vishnu is Garbhodaksha Vishnu. If we see a lotus stem coming from Amlikas and the Brahmaji is on that's a Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And Garbhodaksha Vishnu normally lies down on the Sheshnag. And then there is third Vishnu, which is Kshirodaksha Vishnu, which lies down in the milk ocean, and Kshir Sagar, and he is also on the bed of the Sheshnag. So these are the three Vishnus. So when Mahavishnu actually glances the material nature and is impregnating the material nature, so he does the impregnation of the material nature through Rudra, not himself actually. And then the Lord Shiva impregnates actually the material nature, and then so with the seed of material universes and the spiritual spark comes from that. And then he actually expands himself in innumerable Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he lies in where the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he stays in between the spiritual world and the material world. But that place never destroys. When the pralaya comes and all the dissolution of this world happens, he is there. And Brahmaji is sitting right on the top of the lotus flower, and who is the engineer of this whole material world. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu actually enters in the universe, and he finds it's very dark and empty. So what he does, from his perspiration of his body, the half of the universe is filled from the perspiration. And then he lies down on the bed of Anantashesh, and he stays there. And then third Vishnu is the Kshirodaksha Vishnu, which lives in the Kshir Sagar, which is actually part of this, in the shore of the material world. Actually, when Brahmaji and all the demigods has any problem, then they go to the the bank of the sagar, and then they pray to the Lord, and the Lord, they don't see the Lord, but the Lord can hear their prayers, and Lord answers them what to do. So this thing, so he stays in the sweat of the milk ocean, and so this is the way how the all the three Vishnus goes. So let us see the next verse number 23. O great Brahman, you have told me that the gigantic Virat form and his senses, sense objects, and 10 kind of life air exist with the three kind of life figure. Now, if you will kindly explain me the different powers of specific divisions. So here, actually, he wanted to know about this, about the different powers of the Lord, which actually for the specific division. So here, actually, if you see, it's Vidurji is asking about the different vibhutis of the Lord, actually, which is given in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, very detailed. And he shows, Krishna shows how he is among every place, like in every species, among the Gandharvas, among the stars, So that's the different vibhutis of the Lord. So that's the vibhutis of the specific division. That's what he's asking. And he's asking about also how the Lord makes 10 different like 10 life airs. So he's asking about all these in quite detail. And we have studied in the sixth canto, and we studied in quite detail about everything there. But I will just go a little bit here at what he says. So he, like, after the Virat Purush differentiate in the different functioning, then he developed the three Shaktis. That's what he says. So three Shaktis are Jiva Shakti, Prana Shakti, and Atma Shakti. So what is the Jiva Shakti? Is the consciousness of the Jivas. And the 10 Prana Shaktis are the life air. So we have studied life air, Prana, Apan, Saman, Udan, Vyan. So these are the life airs actually. And in the life airs, what happens? When there is imbalance of the life air, we get sick actually. And when we die, when we leave this body, then what happens? Life air goes either from upper randhra, which is on the forehead, not forehead, on the skull, and or it can go from the anus or other. So when the life air goes out from the upper randhra, which is on the skull, then we go to upper planets or Swargalok or or Vaikunthalok or Golok Vrindavan. And if the life air goes from the bottom, then we go to the lower planets, Patalok and others. So nowadays we see that after the people die, actually everybody writes Vaikunthavasi or write down Swargavasi like that, but nobody knows, where they went. But if you are careful and if you listen at the time of death of the person, if you are very close by, you can hear how the air goes. Like it makes little noise, and then he leaves his body. Or sometimes the gas passes from the bottom and we know that he's going to Patal Lok. So that way we can distinguish, but sometimes it's hard, because it doesn't make too loud sound, very little sound is there, but you can definitely hear that. So different powers actually, if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, that's what is asked in the different divisions, different powers of the specific divisions. So in Aditya, Krishna says, who is he? Lord Vishnu. And in luminaries, he says, I am the sun god. And in Marutas, he said, Marichi. In all the stars, he says, I'm the moon. So there are so many different things. In Rudras, I'm Shankar. In great sages, I'm Bhrigu Muni. So there are so many different things, Krishna says in the 10th chapter. So we can study in detail there about the different vibhutis of the Lord. So let us go to next verse 24. O my Lord, I think that the prowess manifest in the form of sons and grandsons and family members has spread all over the universe in different varieties and species. So lots of power actually manifest in the form of the son, grandson. That's the way the Lord actually generates through Lord of Brahma. This all the Prajapatis and Manus and everything. And Manus it will be described in the next verse actually, but this all happens, sons and grandsons and all the family members spread all over the universe in different varieties and different species. Even the aquatics, even the birds, plants, everything comes from the Lord of Brahma, the Prajapatis, because he has so many sons. Some are Manas sons and some he actually have the sons with the body relations. So he has so many sons, and from those sons actually this whole material creation was populated. And so these are the sons and grandsons and the family members of the Lord actually himself. And there are so many varieties of the species in this material world. And we can see how many types of plants, that there are 8.4 million species of life in this material world. So this human form is very rare, and only in the human form we can think about the Supreme Lord. So this one has to take proper use of this human form, should not waste this human form in any way. And the best use of this human body and this human form is to remember Krishna somehow or the other, develop love for him. So that is the main thing actually. So this vibhuti is what we are discussing in this chapter, in this thing, is they refer to the specific power of the Supreme Lord actually. So there are so many vibhutis like creation. This creation is also one of the power of the Lord actually, because Krishna is the source of all this creation, including all the seven sages, which he begot through the Brahma and four great rishis like the Kumaras, four Kumaras, and then 14 Manus. Everything comes from Lord Vishnu or Krishna. And other Vibhutis is Krishna's knowledge. Actually, we can see all these, the Puranas and the Vedas and everything was created by the Lord in the form of Vedavyasi, because he is the literal incarnation of the Krishna. So Krishna actually has infinite knowledge. He's full of knowledge. Also, power, so much strength Krishna has. And by that power, he multiplies himself in many, many forms, and and that's the way the whole functioning of this material universe takes place. He can lift very heaviest objects in his hand. He's so powerful. We can see how he lifted Govardhan Hill, so big mountain, which was at that time very, very tall. And he lifted just by his pinky finger, the fifth finger, small. And so, which is that finger is actually the weakest finger in the body, but he used that to show how it's not hard for him to lift anything. He lifted when Samudra Manthan was going on. We read that how he lifted whole mountain, which was used for churning. And because all the demigods and rakshasas, the demons, they were trying to lift, and many were crushed underneath, and it was so hard for them. And when Lord came, and he lifted just by one hand, and put it on the Garudji. So we can imagine how Garudji was strong, that he was lifting whole mountain on his back and going. So we cannot imagine actually. It's out of our thinking that we can never imagine how powerful Krishna is. And he also makes a cosmic form, and he displays his cosmic form is the universal form to Arjuna to show him that what he is. So this whole material universe is actually the Virat Roop of the Lord, the material creation of the Lord. This whole is Virat Rupa, the form. And Krishna also has the divine consciousness. And his consciousness, actually, we all got part of his consciousness little bit. And Krishna has so many creative forces about that. Vidur Muni is asking him. So all the creative force actually guides us and transform this whole thing. So vibhutis are, we are reading in Bhagavad Gita how the different vibhutis are working. And so this vibhutis actually signifies the Lord, the Supreme Lord and his supreme powers. So when we know the Lord's supreme powers, actually, then we get the awe and reverence for the Lord, actually, and the faith, how Supreme Lord works, it goes increasing and increasing. So that's what happens. So let us read the last verse now. O learned Brahmana, please describe how the leaders of all the demigods, namely the Prajapatis, Brahma decided to establish the various Manus, the heads of ages. Please describe the Manu also, and please describe the descendant of those Manu. So this is very broad question. Actually, there are so many Manus in this world, and so we will little bit discuss about the Manus, how this universe works actually. And we are called a Manusya. So why? Because we are descendant of Manu. That's why we are called a Manusya. And we are sons and grandsons of this Prajapati. Brahma is himself Prajapati. Lord actually gave us Brahma. So Brahma ji can actually have all this populate the world, He actually sent Brahmaji to give so Brahmaji is the first Prajapati. And then there are so many Manus came from Brahmaji, and they rule the universe. So not just this universe, but all the universes in this planet, and not just this planet, but there are so many universes and millions of universes all over. So these all were actually, there are so many Manus, actually we cannot count the Manus, how many Manus are there. And there is, we say Manvantar. Manvantar is the period of one Manu, which is the one day of Brahma. So there are so many. So how the Brahmaji populated this world? So first, actually, from his mind, actually, he known as the Manasputra. So comes from his mind. So this Manasputra, actually, the first 4 Manus came. And Brahma was thinking that they will become progenitor. That's what he was thinking. But actually, as soon as they were born, they just said that we don't want to have the progeny or anything. We just want to have our life very sublime, in the service of Lord. So we will not have any children or anything. So they just left home and started their tapasya. So that's what happened. Then after that, he had 10 rishis from his manas, from his mind. They are Maruchi and Atri, Angira, Pulas, and Kratu, Pulaha, Bhragu, Vasishta Muni, Daksh, Narad, and Brahma. And so these are the 10. So then Brahma actually continued his service by creating, because he saw Brahmaji that even with these 10 sons, the population is not growing as he wanted and as Lord Vishnu wanted, because this whole universe is so big, there didn't have so many population. So then he actually created Prajapati. And so then Swayambhu Manu came and Satrupa came, appeared from his body. And then when they united, then all the children came. So, Satrupa, from Satrupa and Swayambhu Manu, they had 2 sons. Priyavat, and Uttanpad, and 3 daughters. Akuti, who was married to Ruchi, and then Devhuti, married to Kardamuni, and Prasuti, married to Daksha. So then population started, and from this is the main Prajapatis, which created this populated this whole universe. And this universe is this population is not only in this universe, but in all universes. There's so many Prajapatis are there. So we can see how many Manus are there. So see, there are 4 yugas. We all know that. So 4 yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kala Yuga. So these 4 yugas makes one Divya Yuga. And then in one day, in one Manvanta, there are 71 Divya Yugas like that. And the Lord comes in each Manvanta or in each regime of the Manu. And then this kind of 14 Manvantars are in one day of Brahma. And then Brahma lives, we know how many years he lives? 100 years, which is 311 trillion human years. And life of Brahma is very long, 100 years. So if we see, Lord Vishnu's life is all Brahma's lifetime, whole lifetime of Brahma is only 0.43 seconds of Lord Vishnu's, which is known as Nimesh, one Nimesh. So we can see how Lord Vishnu's time goes, This is only 1 second. For 311 trillion years is less than 1 second for Lord Vishnu. So we cannot count actually the Manvantaras, how many Manus are there. Because in one Kalpa of Brahma, there are 14 Manus. So one day of Brahma, we know that one day of Brahma is how much? 4 billion and 320 million years. So that's quite long time. And Brahma lives for 100 years. So that's why Brahma's life is 300 trillion years. So if you can imagine, how many Manus. So if you see 14 Manu in the one day of Brahma, okay, count it. Let us count from there. So 14 Manus on one day Brahma. So in 1 month, how many Brahma? 14 multiplied by 30, that's 420 Manus. And then 1 year of Brahma, how many? 5,040 Manus in 1 year of Brahma. And Brahma lives 100 years. So 5,004, though 50,004, 5 lakhs, 4,000, 5 lakhs Manus in lifetime of Brahma. So, and this is just in one universe. And we can imagine millions of universes. So how many millions of Manus are there, and many times, even if there is no proper Manu, even Vishnu comes in the form of Manu, or sometime in the form of Indra also he takes those positions. If there is no capable Manu or Indra in the universe, so Lord all the time sees, and he appoints all these Manus and Prajapatis and Vishnu. So Krishna has very close eye on all these material creations, and he sees where somebody is needed, where somebody is not needed, and sometimes if there is not proper person, he himself takes that position. So there are 14 Manus in this material in one day of Brahma. So those 14 Manus are like Swayambhu Manu was the first Manu, we all know, who was the son of Brahmaji. And who was the second Manu? Sorosisa. He was the son of the fire god. And then third Manu was Uttam, who was the son of King Priyavrat and Uttanpad. These were 2 brothers. And so and they were sons of Swayambhu Manu. So the Uttama was the third Manu, and then fourth Manu was Tamas, who was also son of Priyavrat and brother of Uttama. And the fifth Manu is Raivat, sixth Manu is Chakshusha. In Chakshusha Manvantar, we know that Varahadev appeared in that Manvantar. And then, so Chakshus also and Raivat also were brothers of Tamas. They were son of Priyavrat also. But Chakshus is son of Chakshu. The seventh Manvantar is Vairashvat Manu. So the time period of Manu, Vairashvat Manu is present, it's the seventh. And in this one, on 28th Yug cycle, Lord Krishna comes. And in the same 27th Manu's period, Lord Chaitanya also appears in this. So this Vaivashvat Manvantar is very, very important because Lord comes in his Manvantar all the time. And then there is 8th Manu, 9th Manu, 8th Manu is Shravani, 9th Manu. Shravani is the son of he is the son of sun god. And so the 9th Manu is Daksh Sarvani, who is the son of Varun. So most of these Manus actually were sons of sun god or son of Privat Maharaj. So this kind of things going on. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also taught in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we can see when he was discussing with Sanatan Goswami, he explained this whole, how this Manvantar and the Manus and all the Prajapatis and everything, how comes up, so it's very detailed description in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also with Sanatan, when he was discussing these things with Sanatan Goswami. So actually, there's a lot of discussions in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita also about how this world is created, how Lord himself is so much. Krishna says himself in the Vibhuti Yoga 10th chapter that how he comes in the different form. So these are the different powers of Lord. So Lord has unlimited power, and we should remember him, meditate on him all the time, try to remember him, because in this material world, if we see this material world, everything is so nicely packaged, and we get allured to these material things because they are nicely packaged. Even if you see, like we throw garbage every week or 2 times a week, whatever. So in the garbage, we put garbage in the trash can and throw it out. But from outside, it doesn't look so bad. But if you cut the plastic bag, see inside, it's all rotten things, rotten trace of fruits, sometimes all the obnoxious things also there people throw. So it's nicely packaged in a plastic bag, so it doesn't look so bad. Similarly, Lord has given us this body of all the body we see from inside. It's all blood, fishes, urine, mucus, pus, all these dirty things. But he has packaged us in a nice skin, nice fatty layer inside. So everything looks so beautiful. But if we see what we are from inside, then we will know there's nothing there. We get so attracted to these material beauties, and but Krishna is so beautiful and we can meditate on him, but these material beauties are not that important. And so we should not get attracted to these material beauties. If we have to get attracted, we have to get attracted by the beauty of Krishna, and we have to meditate on him, because this material thing, Maya Devi, allures us, and we get into it so much that we forget our original duties of remembering Krishna, how we can remember him all the time. So that we should not forget, because these material things we have to do as a duty, like Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, that you fight also, at the same time you remember me all the time. So we have to do our duties, but our first duty is towards Krishna, and then our material duties comes as a secondary duty, and we should do it properly. It's not like we should not love our wife or our children or do our duty in the society. So we have to do those things also. At the same time, we have to remember Krishna. And whatever results comes, is all for Krishna, because Krishna is giving us everything. From the smallest thing to greatest thing, everything is provided us by Krishna. We should have full faith in him and remember him all the time. So there is still 10 minutes. I will end here. And if somebody has any question, comments, we can discuss it now. Thank you very much for giving me this greatest opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and purify myself. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Kaivalya Prabhu, very much for all that detailed information you gave about the timelines and the different, the manamantars. Just thank you for doing all that research and presenting it to us. One of the last things you said about how, we get allured by the body, just like, but we don't know what's going on underneath. I like the example you gave of the trash and the trash can. From the from the outside, it's just a plastic box, but you open it up, and my gosh, so many disgusting things are inside. And I saw a billboard, I think at the Franklin Institute, they're having a presentation or some type of exhibit on the body. And on the billboard, it actually shows what the body looks like without the flesh. Just the muscles, the skeleton, and just like everything is pink and red from the color of the muscles. And you look and you say, there's nothing attractive about this at all. This is actually kind of, gross.
Yeah.
And, but yet we become allured by the outer covering. And anyway, it's a very good reminder. I like the example you gave. It's going to stick with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. Me too. This example really stuck me, the whole Bollywood industries, they're just showing the body because of the beauty and everything. But behind all this thing, like you was telling, it's just garbage. People are so ignorant. And also there's a nice book written many years ago. I don't think it's in print now. It's called You're Not This Body. I don't know whether you have seen that book or not. By Bikrisha Maharaj. He's very nice. He also has like a whole picture, like inside the body. And it's a very nice book. So that's a very good example and make us remember that we're not this body.
Yeah.
It's part of Krishna.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we all the time think about this body. We don't think us as a spiritual soul, If we think about our soul and what benefits our soul, then all our problems will be solved. Because actually, what we suffer in this material body, the body is suffering actually. Our soul is not suffering. Our soul is Satchidananda, part and parcel of Krishna. So our soul never suffers actually. Suffering is in the body. And we are not this body, so we should not worry about so many things, but it's not practical though, We have to take care of body, of course, because we can do through this body only the service of Lord. Otherwise, how we will provide the service? So that's why we have to keep, but we should not concentrate the whole thing, thinking about all these troubles and everything to this body, because we have to concentrate on the Lord, not on this body. So we should keep it healthy, but at the same time, this is not all in all. Thank you, Mataji, for your comment.
So
Anyone's?
the example of liquid beauty, and I'm just thinking you're a physician and you know what is inside the body, how interesting it is. You do. Talking from practical. Yeah.
Yeah, when the soul leaves the body, I have seen one time, when my grandmother died, actually, I was there and I was in high school, but I saw there was noise, going from the head, upper part of the body. Yeah, the prana air went, before she died. He was very pious lady, remembering Lord all the time, but I definitely heard how he left the body. Because there is so much noise in the world, when people die, everybody crying and all those things. So we cannot hear, otherwise when they leave the body, actually we should try to see where he's going rather than writing everybody Swargavasi or Vaikunthavasi. They put the garland there, the flower garland, and then write down Vaikunthavasi. But what is the proof? He went to Vaikuntha.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, so if nobody has any more further
Yes,
comments.
my mother also, Prabhu, she went when she left her body. We found some blood thing was from her head.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah. So that was, we didn't know that something happened, or she must have had some injury or something, but we didn't know that. Just like that, her body, she left her body.
This prana, this air, life airs, 10 kind of life airs actually. Whenever there is imbalance, then it's a lot of problem. We get very sick, according to that imbalance,
Yeah.
And our I forgot to tell, our soul and super soul, they are stay in those pranavayus actually, It's described there in the heart region, of course, but they live in that pranavayu actually. Yeah, when we operate, we don't see the pranavayu, but pranavayu is there.
Yeah.
Form of air which is invisible, so nobody can see it.
Yes.
But our soul lives in that pranavayu actually. Those life airs. Yeah. Acha,
Actually,
Priya Mataji? Yes,
so
sure.
I
Go.
hope you. Sorry, you have somebody else. Go.
Mataji, please continue. I will ask later. Please, you can ask.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for reminding us that we need to take care of the soul and not the body. Yes, we do at times give importance for the body attachments too much. Yeah. How can we improve ourselves in bhakti life? Like sometimes we don't do anything, we feel demotivated. What can we do at such times?
The best thing is association of the pure devotees of the Lord. That thing is the must for foremost we should do, because without the devotee association, we will not learn a lot of things, We have to study, we have to take shelter of the Guru and follow the instructions of Guru very seriously. Is that's our main object in the bhakti marga. We have to follow the instruction of Guru, associate with the devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the 5 pathayara, like associating with devotees. Deity worship also is very important for grahasthas. Then reading the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. And and if you can live in the dham, it's the best. If not, it's not required, because all the temples, which Sri Prabhupada established, they are actually like a dham, tirtha. So, and where pure devotees lie, that place becomes tirtha anyway.
Yeah.
So we should actually associate with devotees and try to go to temple and do some service as much as possible. So that are the practical points, we can do, but we have to, association is very important, and the reading and hearing about the Lord. And if we have any weakness, we should tell our devotee friends, who are more serious than us in the bhakti, and ask them questions and get the solutions from them. So that's also important. If we keep it inside us, not ask anybody, then how we will improve that way? It will be hard. So we should try our best to improve our bhakti every single day, and see. And also we have to review that whether I am actually improving or not, what changes are coming. So the changes comes, like Ravindra Prabhu always tells that our enjoying propensity in this material world gets less and less. The food tastes less. Our interest, in the different material things gets less and less. And that means, our mood is more in bhakti. We are striving to hear more Krishna Katha and striving to go to temple, see the beautiful deities of Lord. So these things, if we have interest in all these things, then that will tell us, that we are actually interested more in bhakti and less in this material world. So those are some of the ideas, but there are so many ideas, but Guru can explain them more better way, instruct, So if any questions, we should ask our spiritual master what I should do or how I can get interest and follow his instructions, whatever he says. Thank you very much, Mataji. Anybody else?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Bhavagrai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I was on mute. No, this is great. Yeah, I was talking to myself.
Okay.
No, this has been great, and it's always a good reminder to know that we're more than just this body. We are a spirit soul. We are eternal, and unfortunately, we've lost our way, and our goal is to get back to Krishna. Yeah. So it's always good to hear at the beginning of a week that to just kind of put us in the right mindset. You were talking about that. I was actually listening to a podcast. It was a non-Krishna podcast, but it had a doctor on there, and they were talking about telepathy and people having different kind of mental capabilities. And they were kind of talking a lot about how it comes from a lot of autistic people. And they said one of the things with these people that have it is they have a disassociation with the body. They don't have a connection with the body. It's more that they have this consciousness, but they don't feel their body. They don't recognize their body. And all I could think of the whole time I was listening to was, this is bhakti. This is 100% bhakti. That they get it. We are not the body. We're a spirit soul. And so I thought that was interesting from a non-bhakti perspective to hear a doctor speak about, they have no connection in the body. I just thought that was really interesting, and it's a coincidence, I guess, that it clicked on what you spoke about today. So thank you.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, Prabhu. You said that they have no connection with the body. God, I never heard this thing, but it's very interesting to me, actually. Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Anybody else has any comments? Otherwise, we will stop. It's already past 9 o'clock. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnav vrinda ki jai.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.